evening and welcome to the regular business meeting of Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point School Corporation of October 27, 2025. We're going to start with the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence led by Mr. Vassar. If we could all please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Vassar. We'll move on to item 2.01, the resolution of commendation awards. 2.01 Crown Point High School Latin Club for winning first place for overall club of the month, photo of the month, and miscellaneous publicity. Third place for traditional scrapbook, fifth place for activities contest, and sixth place in the local publications contest at the 2025 National Junior Classical League Convention. May I have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Angel and second by Ms. Bazin. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. Vote carries 5-0. If we could have the Latin Club come on in for the accommodation. All right. Well, congratulations, Latin Club. Thank you for being here again. Mr. Walker, we've seen you many times in the past, so I'm going to go ahead and read the accommodation. I'll ask that you come forward, say something about the team this year and these accomplishments, and then we'll have you read off the names and present the accommodation award to each individual. This is the resolution accommodation for the Crown Point School Board of Trustees. Is honored to commend the Crown Point High School Latin Club for meritorious achievement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of School Trustees for the Crown Point Community School Corporation wishes to express sincere congratulations to the Crown Point High School Latin Club for winning first place for overall club of the month, photo of the month, and miscellaneous publicity, third place for traditional scrapbook, fifth place for activities contest, and sixth place in the local publications contest at the 2025 National Junior Classical League Convention. The Board of School Trustees publicly recognize this achievement and renders it permanently to its minutes to be preserved for public posterity this 27th day of October 2025. Congratulations. Mr. Walker, if you want to join me and come say something about the team, and I'll present your certificate to you first. Congratulations, sir.
We had a good year. Seems like we always have a good year, but it's really only due to their hard work. It can't happen without them, so we really appreciate them. We're about half strength today. Two of them, I don't know, went off to college, one in Hawaii, one in Muncie, and then one is out sick today. She missed school today and couldn't be here. We'd rather her stay home and get well, and then we can have her back maybe in school tomorrow. Convention this year was at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. And more importantly, we're very excited for convention this year because it's where? Indiana. It's here. We're hosting it at Indiana University at the end of July 21st through the 26th, something like that. And I am honored, blessed, and cursed to be one of the two people putting together the convention. So thank you to you all for giving me a little bit of time to work on that throughout last year and this year. Do appreciate that. I want to say thanks to the kids for all their hard work. And thanks to you all for commending them here publicly. Appreciate that. Couple of highlights. Luke Walshman on the end there placed 7th in jewelry on the junior level. Kenneth Oyang placed 8th in Hellenic history on the half level. Kenneth actually doesn't study Latin. He just likes it so much that he's joining the club and doing things. Maybe we'll get him in a Latin class next year. He also placed 10th in drawn charts and 10th in drawn maps. Lola Coyle here placed 3rd in pottery, 4th in our costume junior individual, and 6th in decorative stitching. Pretty impressive, I think, for a national competition with about 1,200 different people sitting there doing different competitions. Our junior, Asher McCulvey, didn't place in the top 10, but he was a big contribution to the state's achievement. We had second in the week-long spirit competition. I encourage you all, if you can sneak down for a day in Bloomington in July, you might be impressed and terrified by how this works. You've seen football games, basketball games. This spirit competition blows all of that away. And that's saying a lot because I've seen our student section. They're pretty spirited. Before every General Assembly, for about 15 minutes, where every state delegation pretty much goes a little bonkers. Many of us have to actually step out because it's a little overwhelming. We do have a sensory room for those people who can't handle that kind of noise. And they've also started doing one day that is silent spirit. And so they have to coordinate their cheers and do everything without making a noise. The basketball players for Miami were there. They'd come in and out of practice. And so they were kind of standing on the side watching that when they were bewildered. And so I was explaining to them what was happening. And they're like, that's really cool. It's pretty cool to hear the pretty good basketball team commenting on how impressive these all people are. So thank you all for having us today. Thank you all for your hard work. Congratulations to y'all. Let's do some certificates. Lola Coyle. Nick Collier is off in Hawaii now. Ashley Grindy is down at IU, actually studying classics. Annie Jacoby is home recovering, and Asher McAlvey is next up. Gibson Murley's off at Ball State. Kenneth Oyang. And last but not least, Luke Waldschmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Again, congratulations. Hey, one more applause for this team and the accomplishments they have. Great job. We're going to want to get some pictures, so. Okay, we're going to move to item 3.01. Patrons registered to comment on educational issues. Asher McAlvey, I think you're signed up. You can come back up and go to the podium so we can hear you. Yeah, no, Ash, before you begin, I just want to go over the rules. This is board policy, so I just want to make sure you understand. You have 3 minutes to speak to your issue today, okay? At the 30-second mark, my colleague will give you a 30-second warning, just so you can prepare and wrap up your thoughts, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So my name is Asher McAlvey. I'm currently a student at Crown Point High School. And I wanted to talk about the rise of AI and how it's being incorporated into the classroom. There's no denying that AI has become a part of our daily life now as it's grown in its capabilities. It's ignorant to say that AI cannot or shouldn't be our future, but there are many risks that it poses to the general public, especially within education. The introduction of AI-involved learning will only serve to detriment students by reducing student-teacher connections, removing a student's agency in their own learning, and furthering practices of unethical environmental policies. To start with, teachers are the foundation of any classroom. They're the backbone of all learning. And the implications of AI replacing certain aspects of a student's learning within a classroom removes a lot of student-teacher interaction, reducing the social and emotional aspects of learning. Student perception of teacher connection has declined to an all-time low in recent years. A study by Education Week, the site said that 22% of middle and high school students said that many or all of their teachers make an effort to understand what their home life is like. Many students don't feel a genuine connection with their teachers. and student mental health has also been on the decline in recent years as well. All of this together signals a need for better, more distinctive relationships between students and teachers rather than replacing opportunities for connections between teachers with AI. Additionally, incorporating AI into student learning removes the autonomy and agency students learn by advocating for their own education. If a student wishes to receive help with an assignment, they would have gone to their teacher, asked a friend, or looked for resources online that didn't include AI. Reaching out to people or searching for resources to assist yourself teaches a student to be independent by searching for help on their own. Any sort of autonomy a student may learn from advocating for their own learning is thrown out the window when they search for answers from an AI. Many students will blindly follow anything an AI program gives to them, and students need to learn how to mentally think about the resources that they find and to critically think about them rather than relying on an AI. Lastly, the world that students and teachers inhabit is slowly changing due to climate change, and the use of AI is expediting this process. Data servers that many AI programs run on use cooling towers to keep them from overheating, which involves the circulation of a lot of water. Currently, the global AI demand in 2027 is projected to account for 30 to 47 million people's yearly water consumption, which is about the population of Canada. Additionally, the technical parts needed to build these servers are assembled using fossil fuel factories, which also furthers their contribution to negative environmental impact. It's important that school districts are aware of the environmental footprint that AI leaves and to help students understand that environmental impact by finding eco-friendly solutions. AI is the future, and there's no doubt about it, but it's important to recognize how convenient AI makes our lives while also maintaining our autonomy and jurisdiction over our own learning. The introduction of AI involved learning will only serve to weaken students by reducing student-teacher connections, diminishing a student's agency in their own learning, and the worsening of unethical environmental practices. Thank you.
Thank you, Asher. Thank you. Before we go further, I should have probably started off by recognizing that we are joined by some special individuals today, the Cub Scouts, I believe. I just want to say, what is it? The Weblos? Weeblos, okay. What pack are you from? 406. Well, we just want to welcome you all, and thank you for being here. Hopefully you learned something tonight on the process, okay? Moving on to the consent agenda. Dr. Terrell, for tonight we have, I guess I'll pass it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. For your consideration this evening, we have 4.01, which includes the executive session minutes from September 22nd, the regular business minutes from September 22nd, and then another executive session minutes from October 22nd. 4.02, the personnel agenda, and then 4.03, the voucher registered checks as are listed in your documents.
Thank you, Dr. Terrell. Board members, you heard the recommendation of the administration to approve section 4.01 or item 4.01. September 22nd, 2025 executive session meetings, September 22nd, 2025 regular business public hearing meeting minutes, and the October 22nd, 2025 executive session minutes. 4.02, the personal agenda, and item 4.03, the voucher registered check numbers 178091 through 178491, and vouchers number 307299 through 308219. May I have a motion? So moved by Ms. Bazin. Second. And second by Mr. Angel. Are there any questions or comments?
Yeah, Mr. Akiwa, I know you probably answered this before, but I forgot if you have, and I apologize for that. But on the personal agenda, chronologically, seems there's dates that go back to June and so forth of this year. Is that just a computer hiccup?
Thank you, Mr. Vassar. I don't know if it's a computer hiccup as much as it might be us transitioning to new software and new protocols to submitting recommendations for folks when they resign. So we just want to make sure that we have things officially noted in our board agendas when people either change positions or leave us. So this is really just cleanup of personnel movement on this agenda, and some of it might reach back into the summer.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? motion? Or, I'm sorry, may I have a vote? We'll take a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay?
Nay.
All right, the vote carries 4-1 with Mr. Vassar dissenting. Moving on to action item 5.01, out-of-country field trip to France. Mrs. Ramirez.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. I am here tonight to seek the board's support for an out-of-country field trip to France by our Crown Point High School students. This would occur in the summer of 2027, and it is the recommendation of administration that the school board approve the out-of-country field trip as described in this action item for students to travel to France June 12th through the 27th of 2027.
Board members, you heard the recommendation of the administration for the school board to approve the out-of-country field trip to France by the Crown Point High School students from June 12th through June 27th of 2027. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Vassar.
Second,
Second by Mr. Angel. Are there any questions or comments?
we get closer and they're short on chaperones, so let them know my availability.
Okay, Mr. Angel, I will note that down. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. Vote carries 5-0. Action item 5.02, policy retirements. Mr. Akiva.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and board members. As you know, we've been working on converting our board language and policies from Neola to ISBA. And we've had many discussions here in board meetings over the years to talk about the updating of those policies and language. And I'd like to create a new protocol going forward to officially get a vote to retire, not just use terms like replace or update, but actually retire board policies that will not be in existence anymore, and then adopt the new ones that are going to replace them. What I've provided for you is a list of ones that we've already had and talked about in board meetings in the past. You can see the notations of the Neola policy and the ISBA policy that corresponds to it in the subject matter with what would be an official retirement date, because I'm going to ask in just a minute that you actually approve the retirement of these policies, which will then set a new protocol going forward when we update, if that makes sense. And I'll stop right now if there are any questions. So what I would like the board to do is waive a reading of the policies and go ahead and approve the retirement of these policies that we've already discussed in prior board meetings to officially sort of put them in the retirement phase.
Dot the i's and cross the t's.
Yes,
All
please.
right, Mr.
Yep.
Akiva. You heard the recommendation to waive the reading of the policy list and approve the retirement of the listed Neola policies. May I have a motion? Moved by Ms. Bazin. Is there a second?
Second,
Second by Mr. Angel. Mr. Kiwa already invited questions, but do we miss any? Or any additional questions?
These are straight one-to-one, so it's really, and you said that we're gonna retire them, so the policy would actually be a new policy, not a replacement policy, then, right?
Actually, we would retire
Right.
Neola policy, and
Neola.
each time we've adopted the ISBA policy.
Right.
So, yeah, you could call it a replacement, if you will, but in my conversations with Julie Slavens, it's recommended that we do have the board actually vote on the retirement when we want to go ahead and put them into that category.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. Vote carries 5-0. Moving on to action item 5.03, 2026 budget forms and resolutions. Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Tonight is your last official step in regards to approval of the 2026 budget, levies, and tax rates. The Form 4, which is Resolution 864, as prescribed by the state, lays out the adopted budgets, tax levies, and tax rates for each of the referendum fund, debt service, education operations. I want to highlight again, as we did at the public hearing, all three of the total amounts for budget, levy, and tax rate are all lower than what they were than what they are currently in 2025. Some of that is the effects of Senate Enrolled Act 1, as well as other changes within the funding formula. while 2026 creates some difficult times for this, as mentioned before, the upcoming years would be even more difficult as we move forward. And the second resolution is part of the budget forms tonight. As a resolution 865, this is the resolution to transfer 15% of the state tuition support from the education fund to the operations fund. This is the same resolution we've done since 2019 when the state reorganized the funds and how we account for those funds, and adding the education fund and operations and eliminating the general fund, bus replacement, transportation, and capital projects. So with that, the state allows you to move 15% of your total revenue for the education fund or the funding formula the education fund total revenue to the operations fund. This resolution calls for a 15% transfer of the state tuition support, which normally ends up being about 99% of the revenue. So that way, we always guarantee that we're under the 15% maximum threshold. So with that, we're recommending resolution 864 and 865, waiving the reading of and approving the budgets, tax levies, and rates to submit to the LGF.
Members, you've heard the recommendation to approve resolutions 864 and 865 to waive formal reading and to approve the 2026 budget and corresponding forms and resolutions. May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Angel. Second by Mr. Warney. Are there any questions or comments?
So this is strictly in response to state mandates and so forth. Is that correct?
But in
You
regards to
said
what?
in response, to this, what the state has done? That's what you said in your description?
What I said.
We can do this because of that, is what you.
No, what I said is that each of the amounts, both the budget, the tax levy, and the tax rates are lower in total for all of our funds as compared to 2025. That's in response to both the funding formula and to Senate Rule Act law.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly.
It was not mandated that we lower our budgets and levies and rates.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, that's why I was making sure we were clear on that point. These things are caused because of, not mandated by.
Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Vote carries 5-0. 5.04, food service procurement plan approval for 2025-2026. Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President. Annually, the USDA is requiring the school board to approve a procurement plan. And this is a federal requirement. It's being part of the Federal Child and Nutrition Act. So with that, we are recommending the approval of the federal procurement plan. The only changes from last year is the fact that we changed the dates on the plan. Everything else stays exactly the same. So with that, we're recommending approval of the 25-26 food service procurement plan.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Board members, you heard the recommendations of the administration for approval of the 2025-2026 food service federal procurement plan. May I have a motion? So moved by Ms. Bazin.
Second.
Second by Mr. Vassar. Are there any questions or comments? There being no question or comments, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. Vote carries 5-0. Thank you again, Mr. Reese. Moving on to item 6.01, policy updates, first reading. Back to you, Mr. Kiwa.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and board members. Okay, this evening I've got 4 items for you just for your information, and then we can officially hopefully take action next month. But first, ISBA policy 1200. This policy allows for the board organization to take place in a 30-day window of time, as opposed to a 15-day window of time in the month of January. It just gives you the full month to get organized as opposed to just over 2 weeks. So this is due to current legislation, and we can vote to update that next week. And as you can see there, it will end up replacing Neola policy 0151. Next up, Neola policy 142. This policy sets the minimum age for an individual to be considered to serve on the school board. The old language requirement was 21 years old. This will be updated to 18 years old. There is no ISBA language for this, so all we're going to do is update our Neola policy for this one. Again, this is just for your information this month. Moving on to Neola. policy 8400. This is our current safety policy. And in this safety policy, there is a section that refers to state mandated stop the bleed programming and bleeding control kits. State statute has removed this mandate. So what we will do, as you see in the draft there, is we're going to remove this language out of this safety policy, but keep the remaining language in that safety policy, which then moves us down to the last item, ISBA policy 2740. This is the updated language for stop the bleed programming without the state mandate reference. So this one will be a new policy that we'll look to add next month. And hopefully I haven't confused you right there. Little combining and some replacing, but all we're asking for is that you just have this information for a first reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiwa. I know there's no vote or anything to action to be taken tonight, but are there any questions or comments related to 6.01? All right, move on to item 7. 7.01, superintendent's discussion groups. Ms. Basie.
Nothing from Cedar Lake.
Mr. Vassar.
Crown Point Redevelopment Commission meets next Monday. So, nothing to report at this time.
And Mr. Angel.
From Whitfield.
Thank you. We'll move on to item 7.02, Director of Elementary Education, Dr. Kachina.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the board. As we head into November, our elementary schools are preparing for parent-teacher conferences. This is a very meaningful part of each school year at our elementary schools. Each conference is a two-way conversation, a chance for teachers and families to come together, talk about strengths, talk about areas for growth, and strengthen that school-home partnership that we all know is so valuable. Our goal is to meet with families of every single student. Teachers will be preparing to share a well-rounded picture of each child, their academic progress, their classroom behavior, social development, and overall well-being, bless you, along with examples of their work and possibly sources of data. We feel strongly that these school and home relationships are extremely valuable, and these conferences can also be a time for teachers to share some practical ways for parents to support their students' learning at home. It's a stressful time of year. I want to sincerely thank our teachers at the elementary level for all of the time and care and preparation that they put into each one of these conversations. And I also want to thank our elementary parents for being such active and engaged partners for our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kachina. Moving on to item 7.03, Director of Secondary Education. I'm talking very slowly, Mrs. Ramirez. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. Tonight, I would like to re-invite you guys to the performances that will be occurring at the high school for this fall's musical, The Wizard of Oz. There are several performances available, and so I have a handout for you guys that have dates and times so that you can select one that fits your schedule. But as we know, just like anything that we do here in Crown Point, we try to do it to our best. There is such talent, skill, and passion that is demonstrated, so I hope that you will be able to join us at one of the performances. I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize Anna Retzlaff. She is our multilingual learner specialist for the district, and she is currently preparing to present at a national WIDA conference, and she will be talking about and sharing strategies and resources for developing effective English language development for secondary multilingual learners. So I think that it is really a true testament to her passion and commitment to not only our community, but then to sharing her knowledge and spreading her expertise to help others throughout our country, and just want to give her some kudos for doing that. So I will give you guys some information here unless you guys have any other questions.
That would be helpful. Thank you. Are there any questions? Thank you. Move on to item 7.4, Director of Exceptional Education, Mrs. Passes.
Good evening, President Smith, members of the
Good evening.
board. I just wanted to take this time to recognize one of our teachers. Sarah Mayer is our teacher for deaf and hard of hearing students. She has over 20 students on her caseload all over the district. But she also, in the absence of a full-time blind low vision teacher, we contract with someone down at the blind school in Indianapolis. But Sarah is helping us procure all of the needed technology, braille materials, equipment that we borrow from downstate. So that's a whole process in itself of applying online, making sure things get delivered, students know how to use their equipment. So I just want to take a minute to thank her.
Fantastic, thank you. Item 7.05, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. G. Fermi.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members. I do want to kind of recognize the young man that talked about AI during our public comment. Asher from the high school, did an excellent job, very well said. And just that, you know, all those things, a few board meetings back, we talked about our approach towards AI in our district in general, that we were very cautious and only moving in slowly and wanted to come alongside of AI. And I do love the fact that he pointed out that our teachers are our most important asset in the classroom, and we couldn't agree more with him. So working closely with our teachers and our admins to try to do this right, because as we talked about, and he mentioned, it is a fact of life. It's come alongside of us, and we just want to do it right. So we're not barreling in, but trying to cautiously work through this together. And I appreciate his comments, and a lot of them were spot on. So that's one mention. One more mention of appreciation. I want to recognize Dan White, our auto teacher at the high school. For the past few years, Mr. White and his auto club have been sponsoring cars and coffee at the high school on a Saturday. If you could picture the classic car thing that we have on Thursdays up at Bulldog Center, well, Mr. White started this maybe a few years back, and I think we had a dozen cars there. Well, on October 11th, when they did it, they had so many classic cars, the entire bus lot was full, and it wrapped around the high school all the way to where the auto shop was. I think there was coffee being handed out. There was some spark plug competitions for the kids, how fast they could take them in and put them back in. I think the winner was 1 minute and 11 seconds. I probably couldn't even find them in that amount of time. So just awesome, and kudos to Mr. White and his auto club. And, you know, it just shows you that, again, we try to provide as many opportunities, and we have a teacher who's passionate, and the students are passionate, and reached out to not only our direct community, but, you know, the surrounding community to get that many cars there. So great event for them. We really appreciate them doing that.
Thank you, Mr. G. Fermi. Item 7.06, Chief Human Resource Officer, Mr. Kiwa.
Thank you, Mr. President and board members. I would like to highlight an organization in Maryville, Indiana, the Maryville Rotary Club, that Mr. Gianfermi and myself just went and obtained our Clothing Our Children vouchers from them, which they do a great job fundraising for some schools in Northwest Indiana and provide vouchers for families to go out and buy clothes for their family and their children and their students. And many people don't sometimes think as Crown Point is a community where we do have families in need, but you would be surprised, we really do. And we are so very thankful to Juan Arroyo and his great group of people up there in Maryville that do support us every year. Mark, I can't remember the total number of vouchers we received. 85 vouchers this year, so 85 families will get some support this holiday season. And in fact, we're in the process of distributing them right now. So I'd just like to publicly thank them for everything they do to support not only the Crown Point Community School Corporation, but some other school corporations around us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiwa. Item 7.07, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Reese.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, we have reached that cycle where State Board of Accounts has shown up on our doorstep. Wednesday, we were notified that Board of Accounts would be here for the audit that gets conducted every 2 years. Thursday, they were here, and then we are starting those meetings. Just to make you aware, this is the normal audit that we go through every 2 years, nothing out of the ordinary. It's nice that they're here a little earlier than doing this through the holiday season, which has myself and my staff excited that we hopefully can get this done and get them out here before we break for some holiday time. With that being said, just mention to you that there may be some requests for an additional meeting, Mr. President, for you, and potentially some emails going out to you from the State Board of Accounts folks, offering you any opportunities to share any insights from the board perspective you'd like to with the auditors. So we bring that to your attention tonight. Hopefully we can get them the information they need and get them back out of the building here before a few weeks to a few months. We'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Moving on to item 7.08, Director of Communications, Mrs. Allen.
Thank you and good evening. I want to thank a couple of our high school teachers who made sure our communications team had an opportunity to visit and capture some video of some fun learning experiences. Our CNA students were recently practicing an empathy challenge where they had to learn what it's like to have issues with dexterity, vision, or hearing, and why it's so important for them before they go out second semester and do their field work to understand what that's like for the individuals they're about to care for. And then also our biomed club, who had a speaker from Purdue Northwest who specializes in neurobiology. She actually brought preserved human brain and cockroaches, and I'm really not quite sure what the connection is between those two, but she brought them. And just the look on the students' faces as they interacted with those things, it was a really fantastic learning experience. And we had fun capturing it as well. And then finally, we are preparing to start the next edition of the We Are CP publication. This is a months-long process, so it won't arrive in mailboxes until February, but we've already started on it. That is the primary piece that helps us reach every household in our district, and that's nearly 25,000 copies that we do each time we distribute it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work on that CP magazine. It's fantastic. So, thank you, Mrs. Allen. Item 7.09, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Terrell.
Thank you. This evening, I want to recognize our support staff here at the Administration Center, Matt, Sherry, Gwen, but then also so many in our food service department. This past week, we were able to host the Indiana Association of Public Schools Superintendents Region 1 meeting, where we had 80 people who were here. We had all 3 rooms opened up, and we're able to provide breakfast and then lunch, to get information from things that are happening around the state and keep us apprised of what's happening there. But it's just amazing to see all the work that goes into it and how our people come together to make that happen. I think last week was crazy with the amount of tear down and set up of different settings we had in all 3 rooms. And it was 4 of those days was like tear down and immediately set up for another meeting. So I appreciate all the work that they do. Second group that I want to recognize tonight is our bargaining team. I just appreciate the spirit in which they come together with us as we're facing difficult times, not necessarily created by us, but their willingness, their spirit as we work through this to do for the betterment of all here within Crown Point Schools. Reminder quickly after the meeting before you guys get out of here, we want to talk through a couple of dates for possible upcoming meetings so that we can ratify the contract once it goes through the teachers levels there as well. So if you could just hang on for a minute or two after the meeting, Mr. Akiwa has some dates and times and we can kind of talk through those with you as well.
Thank you, Dr. Terrell. Moving on to item 8.01, other business of the board. Anybody have anything tonight?
Just to mention, the region meeting is tomorrow night at Tebow's, so I will be attending. No other said conflicts, but anything legislative update wise that needs to be shared, I'll make sure we bring back that information.
Thank you, Mr. Angel. Question on the audit, Mr. Reese, maybe you can help if we have a meeting. I think last year, 2 board members can sit in on that. Is that correct? Myself and 1 other board member?
I don't remember. We've not had the actual opening meeting yet. I've not met the auditors yet in their brief attendance here in the last few days. So once we have that information, we'll make sure we pass it along.
Yeah, let me know, because I thought Mr. Angel and I, President, Vice President, sat last year, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
it's yourself and one.
One, right. So I think that's what we've historically done as President,
Yeah,
Vice
so
President.
I've gone through my share of those acting in the position of presidency. So like a Mr. Vass or somebody, Mr. Warney or Ms. Basin wants to attend that. They go through the process and lay it out how it works. And it's just, I mean, it is what it is. It's every 2 years, no matter whether they think you're great, whether they think you're poor, or just in the middle. So
Hopefully we won't have to meet at all.
it's kind of like annual exams at the doctor.
And then next month, we'll coordinate the reorganization meeting for the board for January. So let's get that date next month's meeting. Okay, if that makes sense to you guys. So we don't miss that over the holidays. We have plenty of time to do that. All right. Yeah, we got extra time. Really want to push it off. It's up to you guys. But, anything else?
And, one thing to follow back up
on from all of us, the CP board email. I know us 5 members and members before us have even been very emphatic to say that if somebody wants to get in touch with us, we're not hiding behind any closed doors. We need to be there for communication. I sent a test email last week, but can we clarify, did the email from me got to you from my address? It felt like maybe a couple board members did not,
It
right?
did
So,
not for me.
I don't think I received it. I received Mr.
I received
Vassar's
Mr.
forward.
Vassar's response and the emails.
so I have 2 questions for you, Brian. Can I take control try to get that figured out through Mr. Gill for us?
Please. I
And
thought you
then,
were gonna say take control of my email.
no,
Even more welcome.
no,
Yes,
and then
please do.
while I do that, are we all in agreement or wish to also have the CP board email forwarded to number 1, our CP address and our personal address? I think you've all said in the past you'd like it to go to your personal address as well.
I would prefer that.
I've had all kinds of trouble with the CP
Okay.
address.
I think we're really close.
And mine since last fall has now been forwarded to my regular Comcast email address,
Then-
which I follow up daily.
I'll follow up with Brian. And
Yeah,
then,
we lost a redirect.
Well, if you do a forward, I think there's issues.
okay. And then my last question, Dr. Terrell, are you on that CP board email?
I am.
Okay, good. I think that's appropriate. Okay.
I appreciate it, Dave. If you went with that, that'd be great. Thank you. Anything else? All right, board statements of appreciation and recognition, 9.01. Back to you, Mr. Warney, if you have anything tonight.
Yes, very generic, but I want to continue to thank, my appreciation comes from the choir concert that was set up at, the one I attended was at Wheeler, this past couple weeks. But who I'm really thanking is all of our volunteers, or whether it be paid or volunteering their time for all extracurricular activities. Sometimes myself, and I know many others, get wrapped up to ECA being, basketball, football, volleyball, sports, but so proud as a board member that our school corporation, we've heard the numbers in the past, I'm sure they're updated and higher now. I think at some point in time, 3 out of every 4 students participated in extracurricular. And in my opinion, the confidence and knowing how to work with a team that comes out of it is gonna take you so much farther in life than the A's and B's. And when we were there that night, Mr. Dean, I believe, the director over there, phenomenal job. And see all these kids brings their grandparents come out, support, pat on the back. It goes a long way. So thank you to everybody that volunteers their time for the ECAs.
Thank you, Mr. Warney. Mr. Angel.
A couple, first of all, I'd like to thank our young individuals that attended the board meeting tonight again. On behalf of the board, thank you for coming and showing outstanding behavior. I know this could be boring and somewhat tedious, so we appreciate you sticking with us. And you got about another 5 minutes and you're out of here, so I just want to thank you. And then also to our student sections at our home football games this year. That last one, second to last one, obviously fall break for the last home game. Obviously, people were out of town, but the previous one, I've been to a lot of football games now in my over 20 years here on the board. And I've never seen the bleachers in that section from top to bottom completely filled. And so to all those involved, including, our band directors and all that, gets a band, and just the enthusiasm from our students that show up to support our football players. Obviously, success does help. At the same time, they don't ever seem to stop. I mean, it's like I can hear it in the end zone where I stand to watch the games. So kudos to those individuals, and the fact that we do monitor their behavior, that based on what I've heard in response, and speaking to Mr. Marcinick and that, we've had very few issues, and all issues very minor as far as behavior. So kudos to those, because I know sometimes everybody takes the betterment to maybe extend that discipline. And so far this year, we've been in great form there. And there is a sportsmanship trophy that they, give out for the IHSA. So hopefully we're in running for that. So
That'd be awesome.
with that being said, congratulations to all our sports teams. Soccer, girls soccer making to semi-state, girls volleyball who've now advanced to the next level, and football playoffs obviously start this Friday. So congratulations and good luck to those moving forward.
Wonderful. Thank you. Mr. Vesper, anything this evening?
I'd like to recognize the young man who, Jeremy, I can't remember his first name, Asher. Phenomenal job and presentation. I wish he were still here. It's nice to see young people get up and speak and speak intelligently and for something they're passionate about, and very, very impressive. So please pass that on to him if you would. To the Cub Scouts out there, I'm a former Pack 297 Weeblo. Go, baby. Any of you going on to Boy Scouts after this? Yes?
Maybe? Raise your hand if you want to go on to Boy Scouts, if you think you might. All right. Well, you got more than half. You got some good
Okay.
leadership then, making it fun.
Who wants to go on? Who wants to go out to Eagle Scout after that? Oh, I love it. Fantastic. What was your favorite part about tonight's meeting? Really? What did they say? What were they talking about?
Asher?
You were taking notes? Oh, man. Excellent. Mom and Dad here? Good job, Mom and Dad. Oh, good job, Mom. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Vassar. Ms. Basin?
All right, well, I'm gonna piggyback. Our scouts did a wonderful job, and what you guys here didn't get to see is, they came early and they had some questions prepared, and they did such a nice job of asking their questions and having, some thoughtful questions, prepared, and they did a really good job of listening and engaging. So thank you guys so much for coming and for staying the whole time. That was a really long meeting, so you guys did a great job. I would also like, Mr. Walker, please pass along, Asher did a wonderful job putting together his speech. He was extremely prepared, very articulate, and had some really great, compelling reasons for wanting to speak tonight. So that was fantastic. Please pass that along. And then I want to piggyback on Mr. Angel. Our boys soccer team won sectionals. They did lose in regionals, but they got that sectional trophy, which was great. And volleyball won regionals, so they're moving on to semi-state. So congratulations to girls volleyball as well.
And I think information, girls volleyball is playing Penn this weekend on Saturday morning if they win. At Rochester. Thank you, Mr. Angel. If they win, they'll continue to play later Saturday evening. I'm assuming at Rochester again. Is that correct? And then also we missed the boys cross country. They advanced to state. So they're running in a state meet this week. I think with like 35 or some astronomical amount of teams. I can't imagine 500 kids taking off at the start of a race like that. It's insane. So
They qualified as a team.
and they qualified as a team, which is the first time in quite a while, I think. They've had a couple individuals, but so kudos to them. Great job. And again, Mrs. Ramirez brought up the Wizard Oz. I'm telling you, those tickets go fast. So if you're going to see a great play right here locally, they're really, really well done. And those tickets will move. I'm telling you, if you're watching. So get your tickets early. Okay. Other than that, I think that's everything. So looking for a motion to adjourn. So moved. So moved by Mr. Angel and second by Ms. Basin. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Vote carries 5-0.